أنا في لندن في تظاهرة حاشدة قدام السفارة الإسرائيلية في العاصمة البريطانية لندن عشان الاعتداءات الموجودة في الأقصى وقصف غزة. أيضا في عدد كبير من الناس موجود النهاردة قدام السفارة الإسرائيلية. افتح لكم المايك كده ونحاول نشوف مع بعض الناس المشاركة في منطقة مهمة جدا قدام السفارة الإسرائيلية. فخلينا نشوف مع بعض كده المشاركين في التظاهرة وتسمعوا بعض الهتافات.
One, two, three, four. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Say free, free Palestine. 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 Israel is a terrorist state.
خليكوا هنا اهو في نص الطريق. خليكوا هنا.
You can stay there, that's fine. Our next speaker is from one of the today's demonstration.
Hello.
War Coalition. Please welcome one of the national officers, Shabir Laka. I said free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine.
Thank you, Shelly, and thank you everyone for being here today. I want to start with a message to the media. What we saw in Al-Aqsa for the last 2 nights, what we saw with the bombing of Gaza last night, that is terrorism. They are not clashes. Palestinians don't just die. This doesn't start with rockets. This is an established, entrenched system of apartheid, ethnic cleansing, and mass murder. Netanyahu said it clearly. He said internal struggles are not going to stop them from crippling their enemies. This is called calculated murder.
زي ما احنا شايفين كده في عدد كبير، وزي ما قلت لكم احنا في مكان حيوي جدا في لندن قدام السفارة الإسرائيلية. الأعداد معقولة جدا طبعا مع الصيام ومع البحث بيرجع ورا عشان الباص ده يخبطني تقريبا. فزي ما كنت بقول لكم العدد ما شاء الله كبير، مشاركة كويسة. احنا الساعة دلوقتي عندنا تقريبا 4 العصر، لسه 4 ساعات تقريبا على الفطار، ومع ذلك ما شاء الله الأعداد ممتازة جدا. مشاركة كبيرة، حتى في كتير مش بس عرب ومسلمين.
They are pumping billions of pounds of weapons into Ukraine, and they don't care how many Ukrainians get killed as they're prolonging the war. They are pushing defense spending while killing us as no money to pay for their lives. This is the same fight. The war abroad is the war at home. We need to be united.
باص لندن 2 اللي هو اي حد جاي سياحه في لندن في يوم في شمس كده بيركب الباص ده عشان يتفرج. فاحنا هنا قدام جنسيات مختلفه. مهندس فاضل سليمان كمان اهو. احنا لايف على اليوتيوب. حسب ظهرك. ايوه احنا متحصرين. فرصه كده نعمل لقاء مع المهندس فاضل. ليه حضرتك موجود هنا النهارده؟
جاي المظاهرة اللي فيها نوع من انواع الوقوف مع اخواننا في فلسطين، وارفعوا ايديكم عن الاقصى. طالما ان حكوماتنا ما بتعملش حاجة، نحاول احنا نحاول نوصل صوتنا. اقل حاجه
ايه رايك في المشاركه، مشاركه الناس؟ هل كل الموجودين بس هنا عرب ومسلمين؟
لا 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 لا، في كتير جدا من الموجودين مش عرب ومش مسلمين. وعلى فكره القضيه الفلسطينيه ليها داعمين كبار في وسط الاسكتلنديين والايرلنديين، الاثنين منهم نسبه موجوده في لندن ايضا يعني. فالبريطانيا بالذات بحكم ان هي الدوله اللي انشأت الكيان الصهيوني، ايضا هناك مقاومه داخل بريطانيا للفكره نفسها. اكتر بلد في اوروبا.
انا عايز اقول لحضراتكم استنوا المهندس فاضل سليمان في بودكاست حكايتك يوم الاحد ان شاء الله.
الحد الجاي ده ان شاء الله. ان شاء الله. بارك الله فيك.
ربنا يوفقك. الله يخليك.
From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Solidarity.
Thank you, Shabir, for that amazing speech. Say it with me now. Free, free. Free, free. Free, free. Free, free. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, someone from one of the coalition groups as well. From Muslim Association of Britain, we have Ragat Al-Tikritin here to talk.
Free Julian Assange. Yeah. الراجل اللي كان معدي ده شايل علم جوليان اسانج، فري جوليان اسانج، مؤسس ويكيليكس. جوليان اسانج هو مؤسس ويكيليكس زي ما احنا عارفين، معتقل في بريطانيا في دلمرش بريزن، وهو صحفي وفي مطالبات كتيره جدا بالافراج عنه. فانا بصراحه مبسوط ان انا لقيت حد رافع علم فري جوليان اسانج وموجود هنا بيقول فري فلسطين، وبيندد بالاعتداءات الاسرائيليه على قطاع غزه وعلى الاقصى. دلوقتي رغد التكريتي بتقول كلمه عن الرابطه الاسلاميه في بريطانيا.
It's meant to demean, dehumanize and humiliate Palestinians further. That every aspect of their lives is dictated for them. And nothing is sacred under this occupation. That they are not even free to worship in peace. And every single year, it happens with impunity, no consequences. And we here in the UK, what do we find the response is? A government that continues with business as usual, who cannot issue a mere condemnation without attempting to two-sides the situation, and media outlets who are unsurprisingly lack the journalistic integrity to accurately report the situation. Journalists and politicians know how to talk bluntly about state violence when it comes to Russia, China, when they dispute Israeli state violence. It is intentional. This isn't about hypocrisy. It is about their active participation in the colonization of Palestine. What we are saying is not surprising or shocking as some politicians have framed it. This latest display of organized terrorism, violence, and system of dispossession and subjugation are all state policy. If any other state's army raided a holy site and brutally assaulted hundreds of worshippers inside it, that attack would cause global outrage. Yet, Israeli colonization has continued to thrive on decades of ethnically cleansing, systematically oppressing and terrorizing Palestinians. So long as Israeli officials are not held accountable for their crimes, so long as our government continues to treat them with impunity and turn a blind eye to their ongoing actions, they will only be emboldened to carry on with their atrocities and persecution. So I end by saying, our message to our government and opposition is simply this: the tide is turning. The narrative is changing. History is on its side, and we will not rest until all of Palestine is free. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!
رغد التكريتي وجهت مجموعه من الرسائل للحكومة البريطانية بأنها تتوقف عن غض الطرف عن الانتهاكات الإسرائيلية، وكمان وجهت رسالة للBBC للميديا البريطانية والميديا الغربية اللي لا زالت مصممة انها تغطي اللي بيحصل في فلسطين بانه اشتباكات مش اعتداءات اسرائيليه. وبالتالي رغد وجهت مجموعه من الرسائل للاعلام وللحكومه وايضا للمعارضه في حزب العمال البريطاني انه على الاقل يصدر منه زي بيان ادانه للي بيحصل في فلسطين وفي قطاع غزه. كلمه قويه جدا الحقيقه من رغد التكريتي في الرابطه الاسلاميه في بريطانيا.
Honour to welcome to the stage now the chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, one of the organisers of today's event, a huge personal inspiration, a huge supporter of every just cause. Make some noise for Kamal Hawash.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak everyone. I'll start with a short message in Arabic to our brothers and sisters in Palestine, if I may. إخوتنا وأخواتنا في فلسطين الحبيبة العزيزة، نرسل لكم من هنا من لندن من أمام سفارة هذه الدولة الغاصبة، نرسل لكم هذه الرسالة بأننا نتضامن معكم دائما، ونحن سنعمل حتى تحصلوا على كل حقوقكم. نعلم ونرى ما يحصل في الأقصى وما يحصل في جميع المناطق الفلسطينية والهجوم على غزة، وهذا ليس مبررا. ليس هناك حق للدفاع عن النفس لدولة غاصبة محتلة، دولة أبارتايد، وهذا ما تدعيه إسرائيل. رسالتنا للحكومة البريطانية هنا أن عليها أن تكف عن الكيل بمكيالين. أوكرانيا تسير كل الجيوش ومساعدتها بعد احتلال ايام وما زال ايام، وفلسطين تقطع تحت هذا الاحتلال البغيض هذا التعاون السيء مع الفلسطينيين في كل مكان. فرسالتنا للحكومه البريطانيه آن الأوان لأن تعترفوا وتعتذروا عما قمتم به بوعد بلفور، وأن توجهوا كل طاقاتكم لمساعدة الشعب الفلسطيني على التحرر والعودة. Thank you brothers and sisters for coming out during Ramadan.
انا اللي عايز اقوله بس دلوقتي اللي كان بيتكلم ده دكتور كامل حواش، هو بروفيسور في الجامعه هنا وهو متحدث في كل اللقاءات العامه عن القضيه الفلسطينيه. انا اللي عايز اقوله احنا دلوقتي واقفين في بريطانيا في لندن قدام السفاره الاسرائيليه، وفي مظاهره حاشده زي ما انتم شايفين. الناس بتوجه انتقادات لريشي سوناك رئيس الحكومه البريطانيه، بتوجه انتقادات لزعيم المعارضه كير ستارمر زعيم حزب العمال، بتتكلم على الBBC، بتتكلم على الصحف والتغطيه الغربيه. الناس موجوده في الشارع كويس. انا بسال سؤال، المنظر اللي انا يعني انتوا بتتفرجوا معايا عليه بقالنا شويه ده، هل في اي دولة عربية دلوقتي بيسمح للمسلمين فيها في مصر، في السعودية، في الجزائر، في تونس، في الأردن، في أي مكان بالتظاهر بالشكل ده والكلام بالشكل ده وتوجيه انتقادات للحكومات بالطريقة دي وللإعلام بالطريقة اللي احنا سامعينها دي؟ الحقيقه ده شيء عار، يعني ده شيء مزعج جدا ان احنا حتى شعوبنا العربيه، احنا المسلمين اللي احنا اولى بالقضيه الفلسطينيه، مش قادرين نكون موجودين في الشوارع، مش قادرين ان احنا نرفع علم فلسطين. استاد القاهره رفع فيه شاب علم فلسطين تم اعتقاله لانه ازاي بينصر القضيه الفلسطينيه. فالحقيقه المنظر اللي احنا شايفينه ده والوقفه اللي احنا شايفينها دي هو الحقيقه عار على الحكومات العربيه، عار على الحكام العرب ان هم مش سامحين لشعوبنا العربيه المسلمه انها تكون موجوده. انا فاكر كويس في بعد الانتفاضه الاولى كنا بننزل مظاهرات في كل حته، في جامعه القاهره، في الجامع الازهر، حتى في جامعه خاصه عندي في 6 اكتوبر كنا موجودين في الشوارع. لكن المنظر دلوقتي ان احنا الناس في الغرب بينزلوا يتظاهروا واحنا شعوبنا العربيه ما بتقدرش تنزل تتظاهر.
Stop being subservient to the occupying state and say clearly they thought they signed a peace for peace agreement, but what they have signed is nothing to do with peace. What they must do is stand with the Palestinian people until they are free. And the final message is to our government, to James.
عليها كيفك؟ ايه الاخبار؟ الله يخليك. الحمد لله.
عرفتك من بين الناس هاي كلها.
الله يخليك. ايه الاخبار؟
كويس. انت كويس؟
كله تمام الحمد لله والله. الحمد لله. طبعا. طبعا عاملين حمايه كبيره.
There was an agreement between the European Union and Israel, and the second clause in it said it was predicated on observance of human rights. Now, they should have cancelled it years ago, but since Brexit, Britain has not talked about the human rights of the Palestinians. They must change that. And if they apply human rights, they would recall their ambassador and throw the racist former settlement minister, the ambassador of this settlement here, they would throw her out and back to where she comes from. So the final message is, to the Palestinians, we stand with you until freedom and return. Thank you.
But you know what the most important voices are? It is all about voices when they are raised together. So if you stand with the worshippers at Al-Aqsa, let me hear you make some noise. If you stand with the people of Lebanon, let me hear you make some noise. If you stand with the people of Gaza, let me hear you make some noise. If you stand with Palestine, make some noise. I need the Israeli embassy to hear you, so make some noise. Now our next speaker is from the trade union movement, a key ally for Palestine in Britain. And he is from Unite the Union, which is the largest union in Britain that supports boycott, divestment and sanctions. Please welcome the Director of International for Unite the Union, representing 1.5 million trade union members, Simon Dubbins.
Thank you very much, colleagues, and I'm here on behalf of Unite the Union to support this demonstration and to express our solidarity with the Palestinian people. What is going on is an utter outrage. It's been an outrage for decades and decades. My union, like many others in the UK, the teachers, the RMT, ASLEF, Unison, have been building solidarity with the Palestinian people. We've always had and always will have a history of standing shoulder to shoulder with those that are downtrodden and oppressed. And nowhere is that worse at the moment than what is going on with the Palestinians. We're going to continue to stand with the Palestinians and fight the illegal occupation, fight the settlements and fight the oppression. Yes! And just when we all thought, probably, things can't get much worse than they already are, we get the most right-wing extreme government in Israeli history, and we see the disgusting and dehumanizing acts that are taking place in Al-Aqsa. So my union will stand shoulder to shoulder and continue to do so with the Palestinians. If it's right that the West demand boycott, sanctions and divestment from Russia for an illegal invasion and occupation of Ukraine, then why the hell are we arming and supporting an illegal occupation of Palestine? So I'll finish with this, colleagues. I know there's been a great turnout at really short notice. It's vitally important that the Palestinians don't feel isolated and alone. We're going to carry on with the wider trade union and labour movement, demanding that this government
الراجل اللي بيتكلم ده هو رئيس اتحاد العمال هنا في بريطانيا، وبيقول رساله مهمه قوي. بيقول لك احنا مش هنترك الفلسطينيين معزولين او يحسوا ان هم لوحدهم، فاحنا كاتحادات عماليه بريطانيا هنتحرك دايما عشان ندعمهم وعشان نتكلم عنهم.
Thank you, Simon. today outside of the Israeli embassy. As we're here listening to these amazing inspirational speeches, it is so important for us to relay our message loud and clear so that those in the Israeli embassy can hear us. So let's say it together as loudly as we can. Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Director of War on Want, one of the key organisations in the UK fighting for social and international justice, Asama.
Thank you very much, sisters, brothers, friends and comrades. Assalamu alaikum and solidarity greetings from War on Want. Yet again, we stand here. Another attack on Al-Aqsa, another bombing of Gaza, more ethnic cleansing, more settler colonialism, more war crimes. Like clockwork, the brutality of a racist and apartheid state laid bare in its ongoing oppression and occupation of the Palestinian people. But no amount of boots and batons, bullets and bombs can ever extinguish the burning desire for justice and freedom. Just as the violence of the oppressor was never enough to stop the oppressed from resisting the gunboats of colonialism, or the oppressed resisting the evils of South African apartheid, it will never be enough to stop resistance to Israeli apartheid. Yes, friends, this journey has been long, 75 years long. 75 years of those in Washington and London and Brussels have written blank checks to give Israel impunity for its crimes. But throughout all those years of injustice, the courage, the determination and the steadfastness of the Palestinian people have never been dimmed. It shone even more brightly. And today, everywhere, in every corner of the world, the Palestinian people not only inspire all those struggling against far-right fascists and authoritarians, but they have made real the words of Nelson Mandela. None of us are truly free until Palestinians are free. And today, it's woven into every struggle for justice. It's echoed in every call from Black Lives Matter to Palestinian Lives Matter. But all of us, brothers, sisters, all of us who've got a shred of humanity in our hearts, whose conscience tells us we cannot turn a blind eye to injustice. We have to do more than just recoil in horror. We must not only answer the call for solidarity with words, we must redouble our efforts with action. So when our government arms Israel, it's our duty to stop every bank and every country, every company from arming apartheid, from profiting from repression. When this government seeks to ban us from being able to act ethically and boycott apartheid, it's our duty to take the call for boycott, sanctions and divestments into every workplace, into every faith organisation and into every public institution. And when our government rolls out the red carpets for war criminals and racists, it's our job to make sure that that carpet leads to the dock of the War Crimes Tribunal. But we shouldn't be surprised about our government. This is a government who is taking a sledgehammer to our human rights here. From the right to asylum, to the right to protest, to the right to strike and boycott. It fuels racism and Islamophobia here for electoral purposes. It should be causing, so we shouldn't be surprised it's causing up to those who fuel bigotry and hatred. It even wants to erase the mention of Palestine. So friends, I'm going to end with, this struggle for justice may be long, but the arc of history is always on the side of the oppressed against the oppressor. And one day, we will stand here, like many of us did, outside of the South African embassy, and celebrate as apartheid falls. Freedom for Palestine, justice for Palestine. Thank you.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Brick by brick, wall by wall! 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 In our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions! Okay, I want everyone to raise their flags as high as possible. In our thousands, in our millions! In our thousands, in our millions! In our millions, in our billions! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Thank you very much. Next up, we've got a very important speaker from one of the fastest growing trade unions in the UK today. They were also the first union to affiliate to the Palestine Solidarity Campaign all the way back in 2009, and they have stood strong with the Palestinian people ever since. So please can we welcome to the stage from PCS the Union, Austin Harney.
Okay, solidarity to all Palestinian trade unions, solidarity to all Palestinian workers, and solidarity to every Palestinian who are going through these dangerous, difficult times under a dreadful, corrupt Israeli government. I just want to begin by saying that not only am I a National Executive Committee member of PCS, I'm also Joint Liaison Officer of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Unfortunately, Mohammed Shafiq couldn't come down, but he sends his solidarity greetings today, and also the leadership of PCS. I also want to say that I have a branch where I have the largest Muslim membership in the Ministry of Justice, and we spend a lot of time representing these Muslim members who have been victimised, discriminated at work. We make sure that they have prayer rooms on each floor. We make sure that there are facilities for all of them. This is what it has to be in the 21st century for every workplace, for every trade union, and every trade union should start doing more work on Islamophobia Awareness Month from the 1st of November. It's not enough. Let's also start saying, stand up to apartheid in Israel as well on that very month. But I cannot believe what the Israeli government or the Israeli forces have just done this week. They have arrested 450 Palestinians on Tuesday. 50 are still being detained. Many have been just released badly bruised and beaten. And then on Wednesday, the Israeli forces threw in Sten grenades and they continue to beat Palestinian Muslim worshippers with rifle butts. What an absolute outrage. It's important that we fight to defend Al-Aqsa, the most holy site in East Jerusalem, the Muslim mosque. It's important that it stands there, because back in 1967, when the Israeli government confiscated it, annexed it in the Six-Day War, there was a small group calling for that mosque to be removed and replaced by a Jewish temple. That movement is now more powerful than ever before and is being fully supported by Benjamin Netanyahu's Israeli government. What an absolute disgrace. It's an also disgrace that 48,000 Israeli settlers stormed Al-Aqsa last year. And year before, 2021, the Israeli forces, what did? They went in and injured, beat up hundreds of Palestinians, regardless of whether they were women, children or the elderly. 7 times in 10 days, 700 Israeli settlers at the same time roamed outside the mosque, Al-Aqsa. What an outrage. And it's important that we stand together to condemn not only the Israeli government, but the reason why the Israeli government is getting away with it, because there are 2 cowardly powers in this world, the British government and the American government. They have cowardly surrendered to Islamophobia, and they have cowardly surrendered to apartheid in the Middle East. We cannot forget the Sykes-Picot Agreement of 1916, when Britain and France partitioned the Middle East. We cannot forget the Balfour Declaration of 1917.
and they fully implemented it and started doing so in 1926 with a full-scale program of colonization against the Palestinians. What an outrage, and how those Palestinian workers were evicted from their lands by all those people that the British government had colonized in Palestine. What an outrage. And we cannot forget, I am very proud to give up part of my Good Friday today. I was told on the last minute last night, about 12 o'clock, I received a message. And I was determined to come down here. Why? Because my family's country, Ireland, is the first country in the European Union to impose post-Brexit and Israeli settlement goods. I think this is just what we need to do. And not just Ireland needs to do it. Britain and America need to do it. So do France. All the countries around the world. We need to bring this Israeli government to shame. It's an absolute disgrace. We've got to carry on this campaign, and we've got to carry on this fighting. We cannot forget even the term boycott that came from Ireland. A man who was actually treated like a leper of old for evicting Irish tenants, and now we use it to describe Israel as well. The Israeli government, I meant to say, and the Israeli army. What a disgrace in itself. This is what we need to campaign for. And I wanted to say quite clearly, we cannot forget Balfour, or bloody Balfour as we knew him in Ireland, when he carried out those evictions. So I call on all trade unions around the world, all Palestinian workers and families who were affected just by the bombings in Gaza last night. What an outrage. Sorry, I should address this crowd as well. But I think we've got to carry on this fighting and this campaigning for justice for Palestinian people. We've got to continue to shame the British and American governments. We've got to get the message out to all the political parties in Westminster, and that includes Her Majesty's opposition as well. They ought to shout out to. So let's come all together, trade unions. Let's start the campaigning. Let's make sure that every future government is going to impose sanctions on this Israeli government. And let's liberate these Palestinian people once and for all. No, the Israeli imperialism, they could beat us into the ground, but they will never break our spirits. We'll come back in the next generation, and the next generation afterwards, if you keep winning, because you'll never break us. We, the whole trade union movement, stand up for all working people in Palestine. Solidarity.
Thank you, Austin, for that fantastic speech. As Austin said, the UK government is complicit in these horrific crimes. They are funding an illegal occupation every single day. They are maintaining an apartheid. They are maintaining settler colonialism. We need to make our stance known. We need sanctions to be imposed on Israel now. So say it with me. Free, free, Palestine! 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 It gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, a volunteer from the organisation Friends of Al-Aqsa, Saada. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, friends. Thank you all for coming out here today outside the Israeli embassy. Today, we are all friends of Al-Aqsa. of April 2022, 8th of May 2021, 1st of February 2020. Every single year, like clockwork, particularly during Ramadan, the Israeli occupation forces attack Masjid al-Aqsa. This year was no different, with 2 days of attacks on worshippers in the masjid, followed by airstrikes in Gaza last night. The media would have you believe that these are clashes or a conflict of equal sides. Let's call it out for what it really is. It is an apartheid state exerting their military control through the use of stun grenades and tear gas to brutally and violently attack and detain worshippers in the third holiest site in Islam during the holy month of Ramadan. Every single person has the right to be safe in a place of worship, be it a mosque, a church, or a synagogue. And attacking any place of worship should be considered an act of
from away from Al-Aqsa. I'm not sure if it's yourself
These are not randomized attacks. They are state-sanctioned, systemic, targeted attack on civilians. It is a part of an illegal occupation of Palestinian land.
زي ما انتم شايفين كده ده عدد كبير بصراحة بالنسبة للمظاهرة النهار في رمضان، وبالنسبة كمان الساعة لسه زي ما قلت لكم 4 ساعات تقريبا على المغرب. في عدد كبير قوي من المؤسسات المشاركة في التظاهرة، مسلمين وغير مسلمين، اتحادات عمالية، رموز سياسية بريطانية وعدد كبير من المؤسسات الإسلامية أيضا. الحقيقة أنا ما كنتش متوقع العدد ده يبقى بالشكل ده، خصوصا المكان يعني قدام السفارة شارع رئيسي أصلا، فحتى الشرطة بتحاول تعمل حارة للعربيات تعدي، لكن بصراحة حاجة تفرح. أتمنى إنه العالم العربي، أتمنى إن البهوات اللي بيحكموا البلدان بتاعتنا يعني يخلي عندهم دم شوية ويشوفوا المشهد اللي زي ده، واللي أنا متأكد إنه هيطلع في عواصم غربية كتير جدا، وعلى الأقل يسيبوا الناس تنزل الشارع، يعني يسيبوا الناس تنزل تتظاهر، يسيبوا الناس تنزل تعبر عن دعمها لفلسطين، عن دعمها لقطاع غزة، عن دعمها للأقصى، لأن اللي بيحصل من الاحتلال من يوم الأربعاء اللي فات هو بلطجة بموجب القانون الدولي، بموجب كل حاجة. فالحقيقة فكرة انك تمنع الناس في مصر في بلدان عربية اخرى انها تنزل تتظاهر او تعبر عن غضبها، ده امر يعني عار زيادة على عار الحكام العرب بتوعنا غرقانين فيه. هسيبكم كده مع يعني مرة تانية همشي بطول المسيرة تشوفوها، وحبيت ان انتوا بس تكونوا معايا في المظاهرة النهاردة. معلش الموبايل هيفصل شحن، فخلينا نروح كده للمنصة مرة تانية وبعدين اشوفكم ان شاء الله في بث مباشر تاني.
We have a pre-written template on our website, foa.org.uk, to send a letter to your MP. We have to continue campaigning, boycotting and divesting, because whilst Israel continues their policy of occupation, ethnic cleansing and military blockade, and while they continue to attack holy sites and civilians, this Ramadan we will continue to keep Masjid al-Aqsa in our prayers. We will continue checking the label to ensure we are not supporting the occupation by buying Israeli dates. We will continue boycotting Puma for their sponsorship of the Israeli Football Association. And we will continue to call on our government to impose immediate sanctions on Israel, because we will always stand together in solidarity to say, free Palestine. So say it together with me now. Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Thank you. The director of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Please welcome back
Thank you. And I want to thank every single one of the thousands of you who have come out at short notice to protest today. We know why, once again, we are having to come to protest outside of the Israeli embassy. We are here because once again, Israel is attacking Palestinians at prayer in Al-Aqsa Mosque, violating that noble sanctuary. We are here because once again, Israel is bombing Palestinians in Gaza. And we are here because since the beginning of 2023, Israel has been massacring Palestinians in Jenin, in Nablus, in Jerusalem, across the West Bank at the rate of more than one a day. But we are here because we know that these are not